So for my lab, I've chosen to use data from the FBI, specifically statistics for hate crimes committed in the US across the states. I'm looking to figure out the prevalence of hate crimes across the states in order to deduct what would be the most safe place to raise a family for a minority such as myself. So I have chosen to go get my data from the FBI database. Uh, haven't selected my database and found the website. All I have to do is download the data set, which I will do, and then I will go ahead to clean up my data once I have reviewed them. So just going to click on where it tells me where the hate crime statistics are. I'm going to the tables. I haven't done that. I've downloaded that and I've opened it up on my Excel. This is the raw data as we see it. So I have a large data set that shows me the cities, the law enforcement agencies where these crimes were reported. I see the number of victims, I see the ethnicity of the offenders, as well as who the offense was against in terms of race. So I have a couple here that also show that. So having done that, I'm going to take away a couple of the columns that I will not be needing, especially I see a couple of ID columns here that I won't require. I'm going to remove that. Anything that's marked unknown in terms of the race of the offender, I'm going to remove that. I'm going to clean up any null values that I see as well. Uh, Also, any of the columns that I figure out will not be useful for me is what I will remove. So this is what I have after my data is cleaned up. I've decided to go, even though the original data set had data from 1991 up until 2018, I've decided to limit my scope to between 2013 and 2018. I've kept the population description, the date of the incident, the number of offenders, number of victims, the type of offense that it was, where it occurred in terms of looking at highways at home or residences, and who it was against, and if it was against individuals or organizations. All right, so this is my cleaned up data. I haven't done that. I'm going to go ahead. I have gone ahead to upload this tables to my Google Drive, and I'm going to open up Tableau. Give me a second. Okay, Tableau should come up in a second. All right. So, like I said, I do have a local version of the file, so I can choose to just drill down to the file and get Microbe Excel. I've stored it as XLS because I was having issues when it was XLSX. But I'm just going to the one that I have on my Google Drive server. So I'll select Google Drive. So another window has popped up where it's asking for permission to access my Google Drive, which I'm granting Tableau. Now it's authorized to connect to my drive, so you can see all the files that I have on my Google Drive that is accessible. I'm going to go to the hate crime XLS file here. Workbook, I've saved it as a workbook because that was the only way it was getting accepted by Tableau. It's create to open it. It should be open shortly. So now I have my data set in Tableau. I see the two sheets that I created. The sheet 5 is where I have my cleanup data, so I'm just going to click on that. Click on update so it can populate so I can see that all my fields are as required. Yes, I see 2013. I see the agency name, the state name, population description, incident dates. I also caught an error the first time I tried this because I couldn't find any offender in the white race, so I kind of figured that my data was wrong, and I double tracked back, and then I was able to find it and figure it out. So now I have all all my fields here. So I clicked on the state name. So it tried to generate by longitude and latitude. I'm not so, I don't really know how to do that right now. So I'm just going to take that out and try to keep things as simple as possible. So this is what I've generated in terms of bubbles to show me the hate crimes across the various states over the past 5 years. So I've summed them up a bit for the individual states just to see where the hotbeds, the hotspots are, beg your pardon. So California sticks out like a sore thumb, so I'm definitely not moving to California. Texas has a bit, so does Ohio, Washington also, surprisingly. And this is basically hate crimes across the entire state, so it doesn't really matter. So I guess that makes sense. Now, if I'm pinpointing crimes against Black Americans or Black African Americans, just changing my title to reflect that, I will see that California still stands out. I see there are a couple of the states. Now I'm going to move on and try to get another visualization. So this here gives me a view of all the offenders. So the race of all the offenders in terms of the hate crimes. I see that the American natives are very, very low. The Asians are pretty low. The Black African Americans and the whites had the highest. So in terms of knowing who your best neighbors are, you should know who's best to stay with. So I'm just going to keep this aside and see what else I can do on my Tableau. So let me see here. Okay, let's even move to Power BI. So I'm moving to Power BI now, and this is me pinpointing California data over the years in terms of hate crimes against Black African Americans. I can see the number of victims is what I've used to depict my bar chart over the 6-year period. I can see it's about averagely between 20 and 30 cases every year. This should just to show how I believe that it's as high as the numbers are for California. It's not really against Black and African Americans, so it's kind of evenly distributed. Now, what I have here is a clustered bar chart that shows